the band War of Thrones, and also Holmes and Slice. I'm here to do a little abbreviated instructional in accompaniment with the interview I did for I&D Music Media. I'll be going over a few little things here, some exercises, some theory, and some signature licks that I like to do quite often. So hope you enjoy this video and hope you might learn something. So here we go. Now, first thing is, I tune my guitar. Each string is tuned down one whole step. So as opposed to an E, it's a D, so on and so forth. G, C, F, A, and again D. If you like to play along, you can tune to that. You don't necessarily need to tune down. Anything that's played through this video can be as well played in any spot of the neck, any key, so it makes no difference really. The accompanying tablature will also have these specific things that I'll be showing you today. So. The first thing I like to touch on is modes and scales. Either or, they're the same things. Basically, for you advanced people, you probably know what this is, but as far as beginners go, scale is just a series of notes in ascending or descending fashion. Typically, with neoclassical style that I do, we like to use a lot of minor keys. And the first thing you should know is that the half steps in a minor scale always come between the second and third and the fifth and sixth notes of that scale. Here's a quick example. This is an A minor scale. Very simple. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. As you can see, the second and thirds and the fifth and sixth, that's where the half steps are. So very simple, A minor scale. The relative to that is the C major scale, and in that case, the root note or the half steps become the third and fourth, and the seventh in the root. So, for example, you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. As you can see, third and fourth, seven and root. That's where the half steps go. So with that, so basically have your A minor, and the C is the minor, is the natural minor of any music. C is the relative major, or vice versa, either or. Now with that, I like to use modes in my style of playing. Very simply put, modes are just scales just alike, except the easiest way to explain it is that the mode will always start, say for example on A, and all those notes that I played, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And basically you're just playing the same exact notes, but starting on a different note. So, say for instance B, and C, so on and so forth. So it's all the same exact notes. There's no mystery to it. You're not changing anything. You just each scale or mode has a particular sequence on the fretboard. So very simple. So with the information that I provided as tablature, I'm going to just run down the scales now. This first key that we're going to be doing is A minor, or A, and the root scale is A Aeolian. And again, very simple. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. That's an Aeolian mode, very simply put. Now, to play it across the entire guitar neck, we're going to start low. We're going to start with E Phrygian. Next one is F Lydian. We're just basically the same exact notes. We're starting on a different root. After that, we have G Mixolydian. Then we have our root scale, which is Aeolian, A Aeolian. also have, after that, B Locrian. And we have our C Ionian, which is the major. And then we have D Endorian. Then we're basically just starting back again with the E Phrygian on the higher frets. And F Lydian again. G Mixolydian. And A Aeolian again. So that's basically it. So if you take the tablature that I provided, practice that entire sequence, back and forth as much as you can. That essentially is the A minor or A root Aeolian key that you're going to be playing in. Now I've also accompanied this with what's called the circle of fifths. Very looks complex, but it's not. Basically, what you're doing there is you're going around the circle and playing that exact same pattern in that next key. So, for example, the start of it is A minor. As you can see at the very top, it's A. And in the next one, it just goes in fifths, circle of fifths. So from the fifth of A is E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. So what we're going to do now, every time you move up a scale or a part of the circle, it adds a sharp note to it. So with that, the next one would be E Aeolian. As opposed to Aeolian, which we were just playing. So if we're going to be playing in E minor, we're going to start with E Aeolian, which is which you can see is virtually the same thing we just played, except I added this sharp note, this F sharp. And from there we're going to play the same exact things we just played. So if that was E Aeolian, the next one would be F sharp Locrian, G Ionian, and now A becomes Dorian, and now B becomes Phrygian. And then C is Lydian. D becomes Mixolydian. And then back to E Aeolian. And there you have it. You just continue on through that circle. The next one's B. So basically just all you ever have to think about is where that root scale is. So B Aeolian, it's right here. And then build the patterns beyond that. It's the easiest thing to do, whatever the key is. So if it says it's C, then we're going to go C Aeolian. So anytime anyone asks you, hey, let's play in the key of F, or something like that, whatever it is, you'll know that your Aeolian mode is going to be your root mode, and all the scales in front and back of it are going to guide you through that solo, or that section, or that jam, whatever you're playing. Next thing I have to go over is just exercises. People always ask, how do you get so fast and whatnot. It's not hard at all. It's simple. It's boring, though. It's tiring. It's boring. It's tiring. You probably have 1,000 other things you'd prefer to do. But if you want to be fast, guitar player or whatever, you're going to have to start slow and practice these type of exercises. These are the ones that I used to practice, probably 6 to 8 hours a day, just nonstop, including those modes with the circle of fifths. So it was just a regimen that I had. If I can only advise you to get or use a metronome to keep your rhythm, usually starting slow, 80 to 100 beats per minute, and practicing with different notation, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and then build yourself up to 30-second notes at some point. I'm going to show you an example of each of those note types with a metronome playing at 100 beats per minute. All right, we're going to start with some quarter notes. So as you can see, those are the note types that you'll want to practice at. I'd say just start very slow. I'm going to show you these exercises. For time purposes, going to abbreviate them a little bit. The tablets are included. We'll show these exercises in full length. First exercise, and again, you can play these on any fret, any string, any key. It doesn't matter. They're just things to help synchronize your left hand and your right hand. I'm always going to tell you, everyone's going to tell you, when you're picking, you're going to do alternate picking. It's down, up, down, up, down, up, non-stop, all the time, never changing, at least when playing solos. I mean, there's certain ways you can change that and make it a little different, but for at least learning purposes, down, up, down, up, down, up, all the time, at least when you're practicing these exercises and scales, to get them proper. First exercise that we'd always do is just like a 1, 2, 3 pattern, chromatic, very simple. And just continue that up through the fretboard, up and down until you get absolutely tired of it. But it's a good exercise just to practice that. The next one is similar, almost the same. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Until you can't take it anymore. Another good exercise, basically kind of working out how to play scales, is really nice. I do a 1, 3, 4 pattern. Very simple, but again, play that as much as you possibly can. Alternatively, do the 1, 2, 4. Nothing crazy there. Just some patterns. Where it's really all. And that gets you going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 4. Great exercise, great practice, just more or less synchronizing it, and build it up faster and faster and faster. Turn the metronome up, do higher note speeds, and do this for like a month straight. Every day, even 20, 30 minutes a day if you can. If you can do more, that's great. But otherwise, at least 20, 30 minutes a day, just doing those type of exercises and you're practicing those scales. You're going to see a vast improvement in just 30 days. So. Now, one more thing I'd like to show you in regards to the scales, and a lot of neoclassical players will do this, is to use the harmonic minor scale. Gives it kind of an Eastern or Egyptian type of sound. There's certainly ways you can kind of make it a Spanish sound as well. But basically, those modes that I showed you, if you look at the notes again, for instance, A minor, which was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. If you count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roots. So essentially, the harmonic minor scale is just raising the 7th note 1/2 step. So you clearly hear the difference in sound once I play it. So. type of sound. A lot of times you want to play a dominant chord over that, which would be the fifth of that key. So, for instance, if we're key of A, the fifth is the E, and it's going to be a major. You can kind of, if you just play that chord and just record that, what you can do is then just kind of practice that scale. You'll hear it, and you can kind of work with that, but it's a neat little thing to do. It sounds cool, and just thousands of things you can do with that scale. So. Alright, so now I'd like to show just a couple of licks and tricks, whatever I like to do. Pretty signature style, hear them on my records that I've done in the past, and certainly on the present records that I do. But probably the first one I'd like to show is the just like a 30-second note super trill kind of thing that I do. Now, this lick is basically using that harmonic minor type of scale form. The notes here just... And then what I do is trill the notes, playing 30-second note picking, and of course 30-second notes here as well, but just the notes are very simple, it's a two-note pattern. That's basically it, realistically. It's nice and easy, it's cool, it sounds cool, it's fun. You can do it anywhere, This is another lick I like to use a lot. I don't know, it's just a really fast, kind of in a harmonic minor vein. Very slowly, it's just... A lot of neoclassical players, including Yngwie, probably coined it, was called an ostinato phrase. Basically, it's just a particular note sequence. For this example, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Basically, just using that same kind of, as the super trill, the same type of scale form, but basically you're going like this. And here it is fast. You can do it any way you want. Play it anywhere, anytime. And you can play that in any key, and no matter where on the guitar. Another thing, the pedal tones or pedal points, some people call them, definitely a neoclassical thing. There's a couple ways to do them. A lot of people sometimes have trouble with it, but you've probably heard someone like Yngwie or any more do it. It's very simple. I came up with just a different way to do it sometimes as well, incorporating a tapping sequence. So for instance, key of A. And you kind of play around with that, make up some different types of patterns. Another thing a lot of neoclassical players will do is diminished arpeggios. It's probably been done a gazillion different times. And it's very simply put, it's just a very easy arpeggio to play. I kind of like to do it a little differently, like Uli Roth style type of deal. I kind of came up with something inspired by Uli. Basically, just playing these the two notes. So if you look at the diminished itself, real slowly. Just take these two notes at the end. It's kind of neat. You can play it anywhere. And essentially what you're doing is you're just playing the same pattern but moving it up 4 frets. So. And with the G and the B string, typically you have to change that pattern. If you look at the arpeggio again, it's these two notes now. And basically you just build off of that. This is probably one of my favorite type of scales or licks I do. It's just a super fast A harmonic minor scale, descending. I'll show it to you fast first, then break it down after that. So here's it again fast. Basically, just running patterns together, essentially, and of course, 30-second note speed. So, but if you break it down, it's like this. This next little lick is kind of just like another little ostinato type phrase thing I like to do. Probably about a 6-7 note pattern. Nothing major, but it's fun to play, a little quick. Simply put. Speed it up. Just kind of do that. What you can do is then take it and build it up throughout the scale form that might encompass those couple strings you're playing on. Alright, so that about wraps it up for the abbreviated instructional. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you may have seen something that you learned, maybe you can use for your own self. Just make sure, when you're practicing, just stay disciplined, dedicated and determined. If guitar is your passion or music's your passion, you got to practice it. You got to keep working at it. It's never going to be an overnight thing. You're always working. There's always room for improvement. So take that advice and run with it. And hopefully we'll be seeing you up on stage real soon. Again, thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed this. Take care.